Will the Texans be better in 2018? I mean, should I even ask? I mean, the obvious answer is yes. The Texans will be a very good team in 2018. Anyone who says otherwise, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. The Texans are a really talented team, but there seems to be a good chunk of fans in the NFL that believe last year's Texans team was, the real Texans. These guys don't realize that the Texans used like 78 total players last season, which is an NFL record. The Texans were so injured last year that backups were playing, dude. Like, not even kidding. So, these people, even analysts, because these analysts, I've seen them say, oh, Texans aren't going to do anything, blah, blah, blah. It's absurd to think that the Texans didn't really do much. I mean, just looking at the players they added in the offseason, Aaron Colvin, he's a shutdown nickel corner at worst. The guy is going to be a huge upgrade over nickel corner Kareem Jackson last year. Tyrann Mathieu, we finally have a legit safety. Last year, our safety play was horrible. We got Zach Fulton. Guess what? Zach Fulton is an upgrade over Jeff Allen. And we also got Senio Calameti. And he's an upgrade over Xavier Su'a-Filo. So then, all these people saying, the Texans didn't do anything to address their offensive line. What? Like, we signed probably the second best guard in free agency, or actually the second best guard in free agency next to Andrew Norwell, and we signed a completely underrated player in Senio Calameti, who is a huge upgrade over Xavier Su'a-Filo, and Zach Fulton is a huge upgrade over Jeff Allen. So yes, we didn't really do much about the tackle spots, but we did address the offensive line. And then we also got Justin Reed, the second or third best safety in the draft, depending on what you see Minkah Fitzpatrick doing. I mean, Justin Reed, we got him in the third round. He was a projected late first round or early second. We got him in the third round. So you're telling me that by adding Aaron Colvin, Tyrann Mathieu, Justin Reed, the Texans didn't fix their secondary or address their secondary? Because for the most part, by getting these three guys, the Texans secondary can literally go from worst to middle of the league, middle of the pack. And then, you also add in Duke Ejiofor, who's another guy I believe is going to contribute a lot in situations where, fourth quarter, third and long situations, obvious passing downs, kind of get a fresh pass rusher in there. Ejiofor will definitely contribute there. So I have the Texans adding 6 major contributors in the offseason. And then you got Romeo Crennel coming back, man. So you got 6 new players coming in, contributing, and Romeo Crennel coming back. And then you factor in all these players coming back from injury. You got Bruce Ellington. To me, Bruce Ellington's average, but, an average player is better than what we had last year down the stretch, like the last 4 games. We got Ryan Griffin. Ryan Griffin's probably another average player. Last year we had no-name tight ends out there. Brennan Scarlett, he was hurt last year. He was a backup, yes, but he got hurt, so our backup was playing. Therefore, that's another upgrade, another situational pass rusher getting added into the mix. You got Will Fuller. Yeah, Will Fuller did finish the season, but Will Fuller missed 6 games, and you guys saw him bulk up. So, you got Will Fuller coming back. We got Nick Martin, who missed like the last 2 or 3 games, coming back. We got DJ Reader, who also missed the last 2 or 3 games. Those 2 right there, those are really good players. DJ Reader might even be a great player this season. We got Christian Covington, one of the most underrated guys on the team. He went down against Seattle. So pretty much by the end of the season, our whole starting D-line was wiped out. Christian Covington, I expect big things out of him. So that's another guy coming back. You got Whitney Merciless, J.J. Watt coming back. Two really good players. And yes, I understand, Watt, I don't know if he has to play in 2 years. I completely understand that. Watt, at the very least, is still a dominant run stopper. And then you got Deshaun Watson, the quarterback. You get Deshaun Watson back. You get your starting quarterback back. I mean, take any team in the league that has an average to better than that quarterback, take them away for a season and see how they do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you took away Brady from the Pats would go 2-14. I'm pretty sure if you took away, let's say, Aaron Rodgers actually was taken away from the Packers, and look how they did. And they just lost Aaron Rodgers. That's like literally the only player they really lost. A quarterback makes a huge difference. So not only do the Texans get Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, Whitney Merciless, Christian Covington, D.J. Reader, Nick Martin, Will Fuller, Brennan Scarlett, Ryan Griffin, and Bruce Ellington back. They also, to those players coming back, you also add in Aaron Colvin, Tyrann Mathieu, Zach Fulton, Senio Calameti, Justin Reed, Duke Ejiofor. That's like 15 plus players that weren't starting around week 16 and 17 at the end of last season. 16 player difference. 16 players are an upgrade. And you also got Romeo Crennel coming back. That's just going to add more to it. And then we also have players that are poised for a breakout. For example, Kevin Johnson. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of the buzz. There's a huge buzz right now in training camp about Kevin Johnson. Last year, Kevin Johnson was trash. If Kevin Johnson can bounce back to 2015, 2016 form, that's another upgrade to the team. And then you got Julian Davenport, who, even last year, man, when he played against the Steelers and the Colts in week 16 and 17, the guy at left tackle those last two games, he looked better than anyone we threw out there all last season. So if Julian Davenport can perform well, that's another spot as an upgrade. So this team got upgrades all over the field. Like, people are just quick to look at, well, they just got Tyrann Mathieu, they just got Aaron Colvin, that's it. But they're not really looking at the players we're getting back. So this Texans team is going to be so different from the Texans team that went 4-12 last year. The one that finished the season. Last year, week 17, it was nothing but backups playing, man. And that's the reality of it. The team was destroyed by injuries. And people seem to forget that. People think, man, injuries happen to every team. And that's true. Teams are going to lose one or two players. Maybe like not star players, but they'll, teams tend to lose some players throughout the season. But what happened to the Texans last year was never before seen. It was unheard of. This team was just completely wiped out by injuries. And another thing, people seem to think Watson's going to be running for his life because of his offensive line. Yeah, tackles are definitely worrisome. Like, we don't know about Chantrell Henderson. We don't know about Julian Davenport. That's just wishful thinking. But, okay, people seem to think Watson's not going to do good because of his own line. If that's the case, then how did Watson do good last year, even though he had a worse offensive line, Zach Fulton, again, is an upgrade over Jeff Allen. Senio Calameti is an upgrade over Suafilo. So his O-line got better, but Watson's supposed to perform worse than last year because his O-line sucks, even though his O-line is better than last year's? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So our offensive line is not as bad as the national media is making it seem. It's not as bad as some of these fans but the Texans are making it seem our O-line, I'd say it's, I'm not going to say it's top 10, probably not top 15, but our offensive line is at least top 20. There is teams out there with a worse offensive line than us. Worse. And I mean it. Look around the league. Look at Seattle. Look at Minnesota. Look at Cincinnati. Look at Buffalo. Look at the Giants. Look at the Jets. There's teams out there with the worst offensive line than the Texans. But for some reason, the Texans have the worst offensive line in the league. If Julian Davenport pans out, we have an offensive line that's top half of the league. And that's just me being realistic, guys. Our offensive line is not as bad as people are making it seem. And then you got the schedule, dude. I mean, we got the Colts twice, the Titans twice. We're going to sweep both those teams. Those are 4 easy wins. Then we got the Redskins. We got the Dolphins. We got the Bills, the Jets, the Browns. Those all sound like wins to me. And then we got some really winnable games against the Broncos, Cowboys, and Giants. We can literally go and win all those. Those are 12 wins right there. And then we got Patriots, Jaguars twice, and the Eagles. Those are the toughest opponents we face. Realistically, we can beat them all. If we play good, we can beat every single one of these teams. We can compete with them. This team, at the very worst, is an 11-5 team. So don't buy into the Jaguars hype. Don't buy in to the Titans hype. And to those idiots that are saying, oh, the Colts are back, man, Andrew Luck. They have a terrible roster. Definitely do not buy into their hype. Your Texans are the best team in the division. Your Texans are one of the best teams in the NFL. The Texans this season will arrive. The Texans are here to stay for a good while. It's time to get used to winning, guys. Because these Texans, they're legit.